Probably. Yeah. Most likely. How's everybody doing? We're, I guess we're technically in the thick of it in terms of the holidays, aren't we, huh? And here I am working. Whatever. This isn't work. This is me doing my hobby. That's the reality of this is that this isn't work. This is just a hobby for me. Off stream, I figured out how to. I don't know if I like the solution, but we'll see. I figured out how to use. I always wonder what this ambient zone stuff was. And now I figured out what it is. Basically, if a sound class or an audio file uses a sound class that allows itself to be affected by ambient volumes, it will essentially allow certain sound effects.
Hey, what's good? What is the current project?
What's the current project? Friendslop, sloppy friend game. Give your friend a sloppy game. That's the game. How you doing, Felix? Thank you for the 65 months, man. Shh. Give your friend a sloppy. Don't ask questions. We don't ask questions here. So the ambient zone can make it so any sound effects that are outside of the zone, when you're inside of the zone, gets you can add a low pass and whatnot. So I was able to make it so our poopy, not so great train sounds here that sound okay get low passed. Yeah. And then once we go outside, and then we go back inside, and then we go inside, and then we go back inside. Now, one thing I don't 100% like about this is we're going to have to be very selective about what kind of sound effects get affected by this. Any sort of like really gameplay sound effects, I think we do not want them to be using the same system. So yeah. What about Windows? Yeah, unfortunately the system is extremely basic in that you are either in the zone or not in the zone. So Windows don't really make too much of a difference. That being said, the windows are going to be they're going to be closed. So there are going to be moments where they open, but yeah. For my game, I use a lot of raycasts. Yeah, but that's more of like yeah, that would be a bit of a different solution. Oh, you see that throw? That was fucking awesome. Train runs on 2 tracks. That's a German army reference. Big Gustav, I'm correct. The Second World War. I did not know that. I just did that because the train is so big. And it looked awkward only having 1 rail. So I was like, fuck it. We got 4 rails. Or 2 tracks, I guess. Because the train is so thick. It's a thick train. Yeah. Well, each little metal piece is a rail, right? This is a rail and this is a rail. They're 2 separate rails. This is, I guess it would be 1 track. 2 tracks, 4 rails. I think. I don't know. Anyways. One thing I gotta say, this train is starting to look more like a train. And feeling more like a train. Now, I still don't really like the sound effects, but... yeah. How long does Unreal Engine take to build a game? You mean like, packaging it? To play? It depends on the size of the project. Because sometimes when you package a project, it has to compile all of the shaders, like, again. And it has to pack all of the maps that you have and all of that you associate. And then textures, blah, blah, blah. Compression for audio, I believe, is also done while packaging, I think. So it can take a while. The Germans also had plans for a super train that would have been this wide, running on a single track. It was one of the big dreams of the few here. Let's just say my ignorance of history, this has no connection to Nazi Germany and 1945 and no connections whatsoever. There is no connections. It's bothering me now. The pixel, the magical, colorful pixel that randomly appears. Listen, it only randomly appears for like a second, and then it disappears. All right, don't you worry. Don't you worry about a thing. I'll fix it one of these days. I'll fix it one of these days. What's the idea for the gameplay loop? You and your friends have to keep a train going along a route. And that involves fueling the furnace to keep the fuel going. And repairing different little mechanical things that pop up. Things like a vent popping, and then you gotta like turn a valve to close it up. Or energy going out in an area, and then you gotta put the energy back in. There's gonna be like little repair jobs as well and stuff. We've only just done these two things at the moment so far. And all the while surviving from the passengers, who are monsters, basically. I came and heard Germany, Nazi. Nazi Germany, not Germany Nazi. Don't do, hey. Putting them in a different order makes it sound pretty bad. Yeah, that's the loop, though. Basically, keep the train going and survive. That's the idea. That's the general idea, the gist. And then, you know, more details will evolve as we work on the project. We don't have a monster yet. We got a basic damage system in. Which I need to expand upon. This fire doesn't deal dot damage, so we need to make it deal dot damage. I think at some point it would also be really nice to have it so you actually go on fire. So that'd be a cool little status to add to the player. I'm sure the next person is going to be like, well, gameplay ability system is a great example for that. This is going to be the game of 2028. Don't say that, dude. Please, we got to finish this in 2026. This can't be another 5-year project. This cannot be another 5-year long project. Please, spare me. The thing is, Felix, there's so many combat games that are like that. I kind of wanted to do something different. And I also kind of wanted to stray away from combat for my first, like, multiplayer game as much as I could. Now, this game does have, like, a lot of multiplayer challenges anyways with physics and whatnot. But I don't have to deal with, like, guns and all that kind of stuff. So, and there's a ton of games that are like that right now, that are, like, coming out or have come out, that are, like, you're on a train and you're shooting shit, you know what I mean? So I wanted to kind of do something a little different, especially now with the friendslop genre being, you know, kind of like this hot thing, which I love the genre. I love it. I think it's a great genre. I think it's great. I think it's fun. And yeah. Like, if I still had, like, a friend group to play with online, I'd probably be playing a bunch of those games. But most of my experience of friendslop games, as it's funny enough, I have not played a friendslop game yet. I've only experienced it by watching streams. So this is my own like perception of what a friendslop game would be. Yeah. I still think that the train would be better, less wide. So the thing is, these rooms are technically empty. What we're gonna have is gonna have like cabins that are like, they separate you off into like a tiny hallway. And so that will be kind of part of the loop, because then we'll have like separate rooms and stuff. So I'm kind of treating this as, these are just empty canvases for different things. I don't think we're gonna have trains that have like seating like this. I think I'm gonna treat it more almost like a moving hotel, almost. I think that's probably the best way of defining it. It's like a moving hotel. Did I make the cabins wider? I did not. No, these are the same. I did make them tall, so they're all 2-story now. They are all 2-story. Now, I don't know if they're all going to be accessible 2-story, but I did make them all 2-story. So yeah. We added a couple little details on the front engine cabin, or engine, whatever you want to call this. The front engine, the command center, the cockpit, the poop deck, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. Yes, we got our little grippers, Come on, man, 5 push-ups, really? Oh, come on, man. Jeez. I'm gonna shit myself. Ay, ay, ay. Ay, ay, ay. Oh. Hold on. The grippers. I sent a photo from my game. It's basically a multiplayer SCP game. Hold on, let me check it out. I'm just clearing my nose. I might actually have to go to the bathroom. I ain't gonna lie. Those 5 push-ups, they stimulated something in my system. They got my bowels moving. Worked on it like 6 months. It's pretty old. Did you finish it? Like, is it released? Oh yeah, it's literally the SCP. Yes, I see. Why didn't you, oh, you took a break. Oh, that's fair enough, man. But yeah, this is the idea for the friendslop game. Basically, keeping a train going on the path is like the main thing, right? So it's like the repair jobs, keeping the train healthy, basically. Shit like that. We'll see how it goes. It will probably evolve as we work on it. A break in game dev means it's canceled, gone forever. Person with 13 different projects. You doing golden? But yeah, I'm glad that we figured out the ambient zone stuff. The train track sound is still like, I'm not a huge fan of it. Just because of the clicky sound. I think the clicky sound will make it kind of hard to modulate the speed of the train. Because then the clicky sound almost becomes the interpretation of speed, which is not very... makes things a lot harder for us, which is not great, so... I think I'll try to find a sound effect that has less clicking. If anything, none at all, actually. Hey, Base Hater. How's it going? How's the project? We got ladders. We got, what else did we work on yesterday? I don't even know. We got ladders. We got, oh yeah, the grippers. We modeled some little thingies here for the train. Oh, we added a very quick little sound effect for the rails, I guess. Which I'm not too happy about, but, you know, it's whatever. Would the boiler work realistically so the players would need to check the pressure and stuff and pay attention not to blow up the engine and whatnot? At the moment, I'm trying to stay away. Like, something I'd like to do is add difficulties to the game, kind of like how Peak does it, where as you finish a difficulty, you unlock another difficulty. And that's a possible avenue where we add, like, more management stuff that would need to be done in the train engine. But I'm also trying to stay away from too much management stuff in the train engine, mainly because I kind of want players to work together in some way, and I don't want, like, people to just hide in the cockpit, the command center. So I don't know what kind of mechanics we're going to have here, because I think a design issue that we have is there's not enough, at the moment, there's not enough elements in the design that encourages group play. It's like, I could see players, like a group of friends, okay, maybe one of them stays up here, because they'd see all, like, the menus, where the route is for the train, where, like, repair jobs are required. And there'd probably be, like, a microphone where they could speak to the entire train. I could see maybe one person staying here, but ideally I'd want all players to kind of work together if they can. Like, I think the current gameplay design is going to make it so players are kind of going in and quickly trying to find items in, like, the first couple cabins together, bringing it back to the front and leaving it there to refuel, and then kind of going from there. But I do want to find ways to make it so players are playing together, I guess. But that being said, Lethal Company, technically you could argue, is kind of solo independent in some ways. Just people end up sticking together because of the scary elements, you know, death, etc. So maybe it'll work out. I don't know. We'll find out. I don't know. But nothing's realistic here. It's more so, is it believable? Does it kind of make sense? And then, does it play well? Does it offer enough for the video game? I think those are the biggest pieces of the puzzle. Anyways, last time we were here, I think we also worked on some C++ for the input contexts. So let's do that today, so then we can we can cross off this task. Yes. The usable context, which then I think would that finalize our equipable items. I think it would. For now, at least. The hand crank needs a lot of work. It is not doing anything. We need to get the dot damage in for the fireplace. I don't know how I'm going to do the dot damage. Honestly, I don't know how I'm going to do the dot damage. Want to know what's funny, Krim? We talked about Hyperlight Breaker yesterday, and right after your stream, they canceled the final update for the game. No way. What do you mean they canceled? Oh my God. It's my fault? I didn't know anything. What do you mean they canceled the update? Yeah, literally yesterday. Wow. Ouch. I don't want to look at the discussion forum. I think it's within my best interest as a human being to not look at the discussion forum, even though it's extremely tempting. So, what went wrong? What went wrong? Was this a... Like, Heart Machine makes some pretty great stuff. Like, was this a publisher issue? Like, HM has been a one-hit wonder so far. I hate this shit when you like click on the fucking developer and then it brings you to the publisher. Like, bro, this is not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for the developer, not the publisher. I don't give a fuck about the publisher. Dev was in chat and got depressed after what you said yesterday. I didn't even say anything. That was it was published by Gearbox first, and then Arca Games bought it. Wait, what? Wait, so Arca Games bought it? And then they just canceled it? They just canned it? So January 14th it released, which I think was last year. And then it went through one whole year. Wait, no, not last year. Sorry, this year. It was this year. So it went through a whole year of development cycles. And I guess they just weren't seeing enough of a return from it. Yeah. I downloaded Microsoft Minesweeper and they put so many ads in this shit, it's unplayable. What the fuck? They put ads in Minesweeper? Excuse me? Arc Games bought their own independence 2 weeks ago, so it could be them negotiating with Embracer to get the games themselves. You mean negotiating with Heart Machine, or do you mean Arc Games is negotiating with Heart Machine to keep it all for Arc Games? No, Embracer owned Arc Games. And what the fuck are these game dev companies, game publisher motherfuckers? Yeah, we're owned by this, that it's owned by this, by own... What the fuck is going on? Yeah, and we have a 45% share from Tencent. The game dev industry's fucked. I can't get the character to play the turn and place animation. You put it in later, man. Put it in later. You could put it in later. Don't worry about it. I kind of want to... I know it's like useless, but I really do kind of want to fix the... I don't think there's an easy way of fixing this in the mirror modifier. Does the mirror modifier have a... different way of doing mirroring? Like, can I make it so it... Oh, it's only for UVs. I see a flip. Yeah, I don't think flipping is possible here. Embracer owns Arc Games. Arc Games bought their own independence. Does Embracer still own part of the IP for, like, Hyper Light Breaker or something? Is that what's going on there? Anyways, we got some grippers on our train. Only problem right now is the grippers are supposed to be inversed on the other side. Currently, they're mirrored, which is actually not good for us. Now, I could apply the mirror, but that's psychotic. And I don't think there is a way. The only way I could think of getting this so it is not flipped. Instance them. We could just instance them. We could. Oh, guess I got to do this to all of these. Here we go. Here we go. Let's just do the one at the end, and then we'll go from there. It's kind of a useless detail, but I feel like just working a little bit in Blender right now, and then we'll work on the input context. You know, I do like just. So I believe, yep, okay. I should be able to. Oh, I can't create new user data. So if I flip it like that, are my normals going to be fucked on this? Because I technically scaled it by -1. But doesn't a mirror modifier technically do that? You know, doesn't it technically? Okay, let's try just exporting this one before I start getting too deep into this. The flat boy, the flat boy. The flat boy, cabin 4. Yep, the normals are flipped. How can I mirror this? Create new object data users and apply trade. Yeah, I don't want to do that because then we just break the whole fucking idea of this. I have an idea. We keep this. We keep the mirror modifier, but on the Y. Then I duplicate this. I rotate it. And then we still keep our mirror modifier. And then the gripper is in the other direction, which will grip the other side. Yes. Yes. Brain power. Brain power. And then I guess we'll instance this as well. I should be able to change the parenting without that breaking the instancing. Okay. Very good. 215,000 triangles, and I was worried with my 3,000 triangles in my scene. Remember, at the end of the day, it depends on like what is your platform focus. If you're just doing PC, computers are pretty good these days. Like you could get like 13 million polys on screen without a problem. I'm pretty sure like that's the general number. Yeah. There's 2 of those. How we'll rotate between the carriages. I don't know if this is how it actually works, but I thought, okay, there's this inset here and it kind of goes in. They can kind of move around. They can go in and out. and that allows them to rotate and also have a little bit of suspension and whatnot, and kind of move or give a little bit of leeway. So that's that little. I think that's actually how trains work, because I was looking at the references. This is me just making an assumption. There's no way these are static, right? Otherwise these would break because of all the movement that would be involved with like the different carriages and whatnot, right? So I think this in here actually does move in and out a bit in real life. If I were to guess, based on how I'm seeing the mechanics here, I think this does actually move in and out. If I were to make a educated guess here. Now that being said, I'm not very educated, but you know what I mean. You know what I mean. It does. I'm just that fucking smart, man. I'm just that smart. Let me build the next tech of trains. Put me in, chief. Also, it's good to note that this is 200k triangles of a bunch of meshes in one scene. That being said, one thing I will optimize in the future, these bottom detail thingies are all a part of the same mesh. I think I'm going to make these separate meshes so then they can have their own separate LOD distance and whatnot. At the moment, we don't got any of that. We don't got any of that right now. I just got out of bed. The fuck? I got out of bed at like 2 and I'm like I'm slightly depressed. How are you? Okay, to be fair, it is 2 for you actually. It is 2 for you because I think you're are you still in California? It's 5 p.m. Oh my god, you are Eastern time. All right, whatever. Keep the grippers there. We keep the grippers there. We keep the grippers there. We keep the grippers there. Okay, so on that note, I will now export all of these. Our grippers are now correct. Yes. The grippers. The grippers. How you doing, Knight?
Shit my pants, I did.
Pornhub is disabled down due to investigation in a serious problem. What if someone leaked some like Epstein shit, but they leaked it on Pornhub? Xander, thank you for the 1 year. Thank you very much. Happy holidays as well. Winter in Florida is so unserious. There's no such thing as winter in Florida. Did you hear the big news? Is the big news that Pornhub is down due to an investigation? But I don't worry about poly count. I'm actually more worried about draw calls. More so than poly count, to be honest. Poly count is a lot easier to solve than it is like draw calls and textures, texture memory size, and a lot of stuff. Pornhub's been down since July in France. Oh, that's just France. This has been bothering me a lot. How the fuck are you going to attach the train cards to the train? Like, how are you going to do that in the gameplay? How am I going to attach the train carts to the train? How am I going to attach the train carts to the train? You mean like this? How are you going to attach the train carts to the train? How am I going to do that in gameplay? In gameplay. How am I going to do that in gameplay? Is it just one long ass train? It's just so every time you enter a station, we're basically saying like from a lore aspect, the engine cabin is your like home base, and when you get into a station, there's some entity that separates you from the rest of the train, and they take these they take these carriages and swap them out with different carriages. But it is basically just one long train. So the challenge would be if you had to repair something at the very back of the train, that kind of becomes like, this would be like a high difficulty thing if something had to be repaired at the back of the train. The Lego roof is actually triggering me. That's not Lego. It's not Lego. It's not Lego. I'm going to have my Cloud9 coffee, which is actually tea and coffee in a coffee. Yeah, it's just one long ass train. Can't unsee it now. I hate you. I hate you guys. Honestly, it's like sometimes, I think what he's asking is, does the player have to detach the carts? No, no, no. You do no detaching of carts. At least not at the moment. Like there might be a mini game where maybe you have to repair like a connection, but I don't think so, because I think that just gets too complicated. So you wouldn't be attaching or detaching any of the carts yourself. At least not in the current design. Not that I think. Okay, this is looking better. Obviously the problem is like the distances are incorrect, but who gives a fuck? I don't care for that right now. Don't care. But yeah, the players don't attach or detach cards themselves. Cool. Coolio. Coolio. Okay. Looks like a Nintendo controller buttons from the Super Nintendo. It could be neat if you animated the different movement of carriages like this. Oh, brother. That looks fucking terrifying, but it is exactly as I thought. That thing is on a swivel. The arm is on a swivel. Looks terrifying, actually. I'm not gonna lie. I think this is an older design, I'm pretty sure. That could be cool. The problem with that is... that would be cool, but the problem is matching these two up. Yeah, Mozzie. Could be cool. We have like a little bit of bounce movement, but I also don't know why they're not happening independently, which is literally something that I coded into that, but for some reason now it's not working anymore. Great. Good. Very good. You could do the physics and fake the attachment. Well, we are going to fake the attachment for sure, but I don't know if I want to dedicate some... Like, we're already dedicating the movement of the entire train with WPO. Like, I don't know if I want to do some physics on that. Like, we could. And technically, it doesn't have to be running all the time. It just have to be when you're, like, right here. So it's not, like, a huge deal, but... I need to see why my... I use the object position absolute, and I mask that. I don't know why suddenly... These are not like randomized. We literally had them being somewhat randomized at one point, and now all of a sudden they're like not. random anymore. What happened? What happened? What the fuck happened? These used to be somewhat random. Let's do this. We're going to take the object position and then multiply it by a random number. And let's see if that actually maybe does something. There we go. Now we're starting to get something. It would be a cool detail, for sure. I don't know if I'd put that detail in right now. We have too many details at the bottom of the train. It's cool, but it's like there's not enough. We need to start working on details that would be like in the upside. The upside. The upside. It is. It's a post process. It's a posterize. So right now it's on a value of 18. You can see if I set this to like 6, for example, it becomes way more posterized. Posterized. Yeah. At the moment, as far as I can tell, this is the reason, this effect is the reason why we're seeing the weird pixel things that pop up on screen, and something I'd have to fix. Somewhere we need to put a clamp. I just ate the driest gingerbread cake in my life. Did it like suck up all of the fucking God, why can't I use my words? Did it suck up all of the moisture out of your mouth? Can you not have the hinges be part of one side only? You could, but then the problem is if I have the... I don't know. I just did it this way, just because in my head it made the most sense while modeling it. Because it makes it, like, modular in the way that you can easily move it around and stuff. Entire moisture of this room is gone. It not only sucked up the moisture of your mouth, it also sucked up the moisture of your surrounding environment. Bro just made the Dune movie, but in his house because of some fucking gingerbread cake. Let me tell you, it's not good. I'm gonna be honest. Okay, guys, I'm gonna be honest. Maybe I'm crazy. I actually kind of like dry food. Maybe not like super dry, but like I like dry food. I really do. Like, yeah, I like shit that's kind of dry. I don't know why. Am I crazy? What's dry food to you? What's the driest thing that I can think of in my head? Like crackers, you know, like crackers and whatnot, like biscuits that are really dry. I love those. Please tell me you can smoke a ciggy in this game, brother. That's gonna raise the rating of this game. I'm just that good, man. It's 2 for 2. Okay, 2 for 2. Let's try it again. Fuck. Ah, shit. 2 for 3. Whatever. Don't remember that. 2 for 2. People are going to compare this game to RDR2. I think if they do, I do not consider them as a human being. In fact, I consider them as a goat. And I don't mean goat as in greatest of all time. I mean like a literal goat. Yeah. Yeah. A goat. People always compare games to RDR. I actually think anybody who actually compares a game to RDR2, and no, actually, wait, let me encompass that even further. If anybody compares a game to any Rockstar game, I don't think they're like really into, like, No, hold on. What I was about to say sounds very gatekeepy. I don't think they're a... Whatever, man. Whatever, man. You know what? I don't want to continue any of this conversation. I don't want to say they're a gamer, because by saying that, you're like gatekeeping gaming, and like that's kind of cringe. Hold on. Um, Fucking my stupid phone, man. Hmm. He's taking his sweet time to think of which slur to say. Hmm. I'd compare it to repo because that's what he's copying. Copying is crazy. Copying is crazy. That's like saying you're copying a Redditor on r/gaming. Um, I don't know. I just think anybody that compares any game to RDR2, I think is, I don't know. Maybe they just don't have enough knowledge of anything to compare anything to. So they just use RDR2 as like their thing for literally everything. It's like, well, RDR2 had realistic horse testicles. It's like, okay. Okay. You know what it also has? Really garbage fucking online, just like how GTA 5 has. And they still somehow make money off of it. I think they're selling drugs. Here's my take. I think it's an inside job and they are doing money laundering. Give me a second. Hello, I'm back. Okay, sorry. I had to do something on the phone. Well, I'm reading chat. Trying to catch up. What was that? What was that thing the other week? Gun and Ball Gamer. If your comparisons are only from the perspective of Madden, COD, NBA, GTA perspective, they should be bullied and pushed back on by the populace who plays all types of games. I don't know. I don't want to fucking. You know, because then people are gonna be like, "Oh, you're gatekeeping," because it's like blah blah blah. And it's like, here's my take. Anybody who compares anything to like Red Dead Redemption or fucking GTA or like popular AAA games, like stop it. Like stop using that as a comparison point. Especially when the game has no connection to the games whatsoever. It's just weird. It's just cringe. Is based in Clash of Clans? No, I don't do any of that. Make my first fab asset? What do you think? How much is important backward version compatibility? Should I make assets starting from 5.1 or later? If you are making a pack of assets that are just static meshes, I would recommend going back down to 427. If you really want to get like the big picture, because people are still using UE4, and the annoying thing with only releasing an asset on UE5 is you have to open up UE5, import in there to then migrate those. You can't even migrate, actually. You have to export those as a static. It's annoying, right? For somebody that's using UE4. So if we're really thinking about backward version compatibility, I would say bringing it back down to 427 if you can. If not, 5.0, 5.1 maybe. I feel like nobody's really using 5.0, but unless they're doing a fork like Vite. Yeah, UE427 is big in VR circles. There you go. But that depends if your assets are even very VR friendly. That being said, some people buy assets and they still use it anyways, and they try to optimize it, so. Aren't we all laundering money? Well, I don't know. I don't know if that's the definition of laundering money. You guys are making some weird shit up in chat. I'm like scrolling down to read this shit. I don't know what the fuck you guys are saying. Crimson's making me feel like a shitty dev. I took a break for Christmas. Do whatever you want to do, man. Don't let anybody else choose what your fucking work style should be like. Oh, you're using chaos to make vehicles. Oh, okay. Yeah, then I would just say UE5 then at that point. 5.1 and onward. I'm not sure you're even allowed to release UE4 assets anymore. Wasn't there a rule about that? There's no way that's a rule. There's no way that's a rule. There's no way you're not allowed to release UE4 products anymore. That's fucking stupid if that's true. If true, stupid. That is extremely stupid if that's true. There's no way. I know Fab is horrible and whoever's fucking managing it is a piece of shit, but like there's no way they went that far to just completely deny any sort of UE4 submission anymore. I don't think that like, there's no way. I don't think so. I don't think they would do that. That would be a huge PR fucking problem. That'd be a huge PR. That'd be a big PR oopie. Big PR oopie. Planning to build a PC when the RAM inflation suddenly creeps up. I'm cooked. Oh, and Craney, don't forget. There's rumors that GeForce is going to be cutting down on making GPUs in 2026. So even GPU prices might go up. Ooh. Arr. Just to be safe, I ended up ordering an RTX 5070 Ti. I didn't hook it up yet because I need 3 fucking stupid GPU 3 power supply cables. There's a splitter that goes into 3 separate cables, which I think I have 2 hooked up right now, not 3. So I'd have to scramble my way to my power supply, which is hidden away somewhere, and goodbye. 5070 Ti, what are you, poor? 5070 Ti seem to be like the best choice out of all of them. Like the 5080 doesn't even seem to have like that big of an impact for the amount of price that you're paying for it, and also the amount of power supply you like increase you need to go from 5070 Ti to 5080. Hear me, left your oven on? I did not. It's not true. Frick this AI, man. You know, the reality is the bubble's going to pop at some point, but what impact is it going to have? Like, it's definitely not going to be a positive impact. But, like, the matter is, when is it going to pop? And also, like, apparently the U.S. government is also now investing into all of this bullshit. Like, what the... I don't know. Depending on the card, you could probably get away with 2 cables if you have the connection points. I think I just want to play it safe. Luckily, I think my power supply is a 750 watt. I think... Is the background using world position offset, or is it moved in blueprint? The terrain and the tracks are WPO, or world position offset. The tunnel that passes by is actually setting the location, because we need the collision for that one. Because that becomes basically a gameplay element. So this tunnel that passes by here... Yeah. Maybe I read it wrong. Publishers must ensure all of their published products support at least one of the 3 latest engine versions. Support at least one of the 3 latest engine versions? That's stupid. As in all 3 ports connected, but using the cables you already have. I just upgraded to 5070 Ti as well, but didn't want to swap my entire PSU. My PSU is 750 watt. It's a modular PSU. And luckily, I think I found the right GPU cables for it. It's just, dude, getting in there, it's like in a tight spot and like wrangling the cables in there and shit. Oh my god. Last time I had to put in this other graphics card, it was a fucking pain in the ball sack. But yeah. That means you have to support the latest, but you can still add the UE4 version. I wonder if that's only for, I guess, new submissions. So I guess it's just new submissions. As long as you support 5.5 or, yeah, 5.5. And you could do 427. I think maybe that's okay. But if you're doing a Chaos Vehicle blueprint, I'd say just do 5.1 and then 5.5. Technically speaking, though, you can say it works from 5.1 to 5.7. You just have to test those. Because it will just automatically, on the spot, migrate, or not migrate, but upgrade the project for them on the spot. That being said, just do your due diligence at the end of the day. Epic might still accept the product, but the reality of it is at the end of the day, it's your customers that matter, right? Is if shit works for them. I was out of modular ports for my GPU. Good on you if you have an additional unused one. Oh shit, you didn't you didn't have a PCIe slot anymore? How the hell did that happen? Chinese GPUs are catching up? Dude, China is always catching up to literally anything. If anything, they're the ones that are like the ones making the what is this? Level 5 CEO claims that 80 to 90% of game coding is written by AI now. They extensively use AI from everything from game code assets and character idea, dialogue, narrative, which is then refined by humans. Claims that 80-90... This is dangerous, this kind of news journalism. This is so dangerous, because then people are going to read this and be like, oh, all games are 80 to 90% written by... Anyways, watch this train coupler. Dude, this is actually... I'm not going to lie. this kind of raises my anxiety. He's talking about the industry and not the company. So he is actually misleading everybody. It's not just the journalist. It's the fucking stupid CEO that's in there. Dude. Oh my God. See, this is why it's so hard to be a game developer these days and to speak to people publicly, because they're completely misled by public information out there by literal journalists in quotation marks. It just makes it so hard to have a proper conversation with people because they're just misled by literally everything. Oh, I'm glad I got a 1,000 watt power supply. When do you guys think the prices start increasing on power supplies? When do you think they start finding ways to fuck the prices for power supplies? It's easy to be a game dev. Just don't go to Twitter. Yes and no. If you are an independent game dev, you kind of have to go to those social media sites. And on top of that, you have to interact with your players at some point whenever you release your game. And you are going to interact with people that unfortunately read a lot of information that is online. And then now you're in the thick of it. When AI giants start mass using copper more than they are, that's true. Well, yeah, I guess most of power supplies are copper. Wait until air coolers rise in prices. I only use air coolers or air coolers. I don't know why I can't trust water cooling. Automate CEOs. Honestly, automate CEOs. There's enough information and bullshit out there to automate them. We don't need these fucking human CEOs. They're stupid. Why pay them millions of dollars when you can just have a fucking AI that does it for you? I'm just saying. You're paying these fucking bozos millions of dollars. They want to cut costs. The best way to cut costs is cut it at the fucking root. At this point, there's enough information online. They all just circle jerk each other anyways. Oh, hey, let's start doing AI because this guy's doing AI. Hey, listen, you're a CEO too, though. I don't like viewing myself as a CEO. I'm just a director of a one-man corporation. Which means, in my opinion, I'm not a CEO. So, that's my take. CEOs don't even fucking do anything. They just circle jerk each other because they see something online. And now they're like, oh, let me do the same thing and do some PR for this. Just get an AI to do it. And then you save yourself millions of dollars. You don't got to pay a stupid asshole CEO who's not actually doing anything. He just takes flights everywhere and does talks for some random bullshit that he doesn't even know. I got to tighten this thing. This thing is loosening. Ooh, my mic arm is loosening. Also, I like how that CEO accuses everyone using AI in the industry, and they literally released a game trailer with AI art. I think it's delusion. Extreme levels of delusion. And maybe some elements of thinking they're the center of the universe, when they're not. So I think it's a mix of main character syndrome, thinking everyone is following your footsteps, and extreme levels of delusion. I've seen so many AI users try to reason with people that it's used by everyone, so it's fine. So many people are coping. You have so many AI people that say cope to people that are like, AI is gonna have, the bubble's gonna pop, and they're like, cope. But then the same people are like, everyone's using it. It's like, cope. Cope, brother. Just cope harder. I think the only thing that is slightly AI use to me is my autocomplete in Writer, which, by the way, fucking breaks 70% of the time. It doesn't actually give me the correct information. So thanks. Great autocomplete. Love it. It's so useful. So useful. Great. Yeah. Extremely useful. Hello, King. How's it going? Indie devs are closer to being employee owned than CEO. I think now more than ever, I encourage people, if they can, if they have the time, they have the energy, become, or at least work towards having passive income that is your own income, at least in some way. and don't rely on companies because, geez, like it's worse now than ever. My partner works in kind of like medical industry. Two people retired at the same time, and collectively that was 75. They worked there for 75 years. So I think one person was 30 years or 35 years, and the other person was like 40 years or something like that. All they gave them when they left was a fucking 2 baskets of like random chocolates and shit. That's it. For working 35 years, it's collectively 75 years. That's all you gave them is some fucking chocolates and flowers and shit. Insane. Insane. I feel like companies do not care at all about you. They don't care. You're like a condom to them. I don't know. That's why I always believe that like building your own thing is, I think, more important than ever these days. I know it's not for everyone. I know not everyone has the entrepreneurial... I don't even view it as entrepreneurial. Honestly, I think anybody can get it done. Like selling assets on Fab or something. You know, at least it's some element of income that is outside of the realms of your main income that might be working at a company. Now, I know not everyone has that privilege. I understand that. So, yeah. I'm using AI to code, and it's speeding up my production quite a bit. Oh, there you go. Cool. I don't know. For me, every time I use it, it actually just causes more problems than solves. Oh, you could just say, well, skill issue. Maybe you're using it wrong. Well, I guess so. I guess I'm using the tool wrong. I guess maybe. Yeah. Here in Finland, you lose unemployment benefits entirely if you make any monthly income passively. Right, that is... Yeah, I've heard of some... Or it's like in certain countries, I think it's a certain threshold. If you make over like $2,000 or something in the year, you lose your benefits. What that just encourages is people just doing jobs under the table. That's literally all that encourages. It actually just not... It does not encourage them to go back into the workforce. It does not encourage them to go out there and actually do anything. It just encourages them to either A, not work at all, or B, you work under the fucking table. Or you sell drugs. I don't know. Which is working under the table. So, I don't know. I just don't think... It makes sense you lose your unemployment benefits if you start earning income, but I feel like the only time that you should like lose those benefits is if you are now earning income that is sufficient enough to actually, like, you know, pay rent and live. But it's got really political. Anyways, what the hell am I doing? Am I a game dev streamer, or am I Hassan / whoever the fuck else does politics talks on their stream? I like doing Blender more than doing things in the game engine. I think I discovered a new obsession. Dude, Blender is like nice, man. Yeah. 35 years in service, is that an achievement though? I don't know. I feel like if you work 35 years in a company and this is a private company, by the way. If that private company only like gives you a basket when you probably helped in some way to keep that business going in some way or fashion. I don't know. That's all you get is a basket. I don't know. That's kind of just... Now, like, I guess then the argument is, what should they do? I don't know. I feel like it's like maybe a little bit more. Are you sure they didn't get pensions because they got shares instead? I'm not sure, but it was not like this... I feel like when you hear about stories about people retiring back then, you hear about these like grand things. Nowadays it's kind of like whatever. And I guess that's just a case of population growing. And it's like, what can you do? Like, you're going to do this grand thing for everybody? I'm actually making an AI game that's more of an AI medium. NPCs are all AI and can pick up objects if you ask them to. And then, as goofy AI setup, there's definitely room for cool AI that aren't just pre-gen AI stuff. We're going to see this the slop at first because it's easy, but the cool stuff is coming. Maybe. I don't know. Maybe. Get some nice dividends when they retire. I don't think they got that, unfortunately. Look at me speeding up my production, so when human labor is no longer needed and we receive a universal income and will own nothing. I love owning nothing because human skill no longer matters. I don't know if I would go like that far. Also, I think universal basic income is a pipe dream. I think that's a pipe dream. Oh, I'm sure they're getting retirement, which gives you almost like nothing here in Canada. If you're still living off of rent and you're getting retirement here in Canada, good luck. You're going to probably have to move depending on where you live. I was a bit late, but I saw this old man that lost his wife and was working in a grocery store making ends meet, and a YouTuber helped raise money for them. Yeah, when you see an old person in a grocery store, I don't know. I'm just kind of saddened by it to an extent. Like, I hope they're getting paid enough or getting enough for their retirement and whatnot to be able to live. You know what I mean? 'Cause I feel like, now maybe I'm making assumptions, but who knows? I don't know. Anyways, this is getting really political. Let's just talk about games right now. Let's talk about video games. We were talking about like the whole GTA thing and whatnot. Do I use the latest UE5 for any features, or do I just like being on the latest? I'm actually only on 5.6. I'm not even on 5.7. I think we just started the project on 5.6. I don't think it was necessarily me going on latest. So we just started the project on 5.6. I don't find any reasoning to move to 5.7 unless there's some like substantial optimizations, but I'm gonna be honest, I'm very like iffy when it comes to Epic Games. Am I on 6.7? Mod, tie that guy's arms up into a strudel and then throw him into the air fryer. And slap some cinnamon sugar on top as well. Mods. Ever thought about making the smoke move around the cart behind it? You have to probably give it collision, which I think is a little costly for the smoke. You'd have to give it a collision variable in here. I'd have to put collision and then make it collide. Oh, does Cascade not allow collisions? There you go. Now it's colliding. But it's like not moving to the right. Yeah, I just, you know, I mean, like, it's kind of like an unnecessary detail, I think. I think as we figure out, hold on. Yeah, no. I think we'll probably change where the smoke actually is. And I don't think the smoke would be right here. I think we'd probably put like vents on the side or something like that. Or maybe we'd use these like these things and like make them spawn up here. And then we can maybe adjust the smoke here to like be a little bit higher up. So we could add a little bit more vertical velocity. So we could do 80 and 60. Hold on. Constant acceleration. You could do something like that. You know, you could do a little something like that. It's the kids' version of 69 or 21. Yeah, it really is kind of like the current generation 21/69. Game dev topic change. Yeah, we had the topic change quick. I think it was getting a little... I apologize. Sometimes we do get into those topics, which we shouldn't. I think it's better to just talk about other things, but I just like talking about anything. There's like this cardinal sin that you don't talk about politics on stream. But sometimes I just find myself, you know, randomly just, I randomly start, you know, I just randomly start talking about it. You know what I mean? Like, my bad. Oh yeah, we're getting real smoky. We're getting real smoky with it. The problem with this though, I wish I could find a more optimized way of doing smoke, because this is like not very optimized because it's using translucency, which sucks. Sucks balls. Look at that. Look at that. What the hell? What is the way of, like, solving smoke? Like, what is the way to solve smoke? Is Niagara not cheaper? In terms of this, not... In terms of, like, translucency, I don't think it's necessarily cheaper. I think Niagara might be cheaper in other respects. But, yeah. Particle cutout? Would particle cutouts... I don't even know what particle cutout is. I keep seeing it. Particle cutout, alpha threshold. I don't know how to use particle cutouts. I think I'm stupid. As long as your performance isn't like 7 Days to Die, you're probably fine. Yeah, I'm not like I'm not too worried about it, but maybe start prototyping a Death Stranding style cargo transporting game where every object and cargo is physics based. Ah, it sounds like a good time. How does cutout work? I'm curious. I'm just curious, out of curiosity now. Alpha channel value is larger than the threshold. They're considered occupied and will be contained in the bounding geometry. Raising this threshold slightly can reduce overdrawn particles using this animation asset. I don't know what kind of cutout texture. What would go in the cutout texture? Let me see. Particle cutout. UV fire particle cutout. Oh, here's an answer from Luos, the VFX man himself. If I remember correctly, use material cutout texture uses the material of the sprite as a cutout or the texture within it. The material version not working would be due to other textures in the material. It's a bit vague on that part, but to be honest, I never use that one. I use the texture that gives me a specific cutout. Cutout texture can actually be the texture of the sprite, but it could be a texture of any arbitrary shape. What I tend to use. I have a few shape textures like circle, half circle, square, 8-sided circle, etc. They get cooked out when packaging the game anyways. Learned that recently. BVC 4 vertices cuts it out in a way to have 4 sides. I use overall brightness or one of the RGB channels. I threshold is just that. I'm generally content with 0.01 to 0.1. If you have a flipbook, you can use the flipbook textures alpha/red channel or brightness generally. Yeah? I am using this. I am using the cutout. The smoke sub UV, but I don't know how this works or if it even appears in the shader complexity, and maybe it doesn't. I don't know. Whoa! Whoa! Wait. Wait. Oh my god. Do you guys see that? They're no longer squares anymore. And now they're squares. Oh, wow. This doesn't help us. But that's cool. You guys see it? It's like changing shape. So it is technically optimized, but it's not. It's a cutout of the alpha itself within the mesh, but it is not causing any sort of. It's not causing less like overdraw necessarily. I don't know if there is a tool to even fix that. So that's kind of cool, though. That's kind of cool. Very, very interesting. Wait, what? Read chat? Wait, what? What do you mean? What? What do you want? What do you mean? There's a set of options? Lewis literally has a tutorial on it? Grim, please? Guys, come on, man. What the hell? He's using a masked texture, though. Guys, I just did it. You sent me a video to fucking nothing. Guys, I literally did it. You can see it right here. I literally did it. You can see it's moving. Guys, come on. Is the game stylized? Could do straight geo plumes of smoke. We could do that too. It was a thought. Another thought I had is doing what we did with Suit for Hire, which is we turn the smoke into a masked material rather than a translucent, which I think gives it a kind of fun, interesting look. Only transparent or post-processed materials can read from scene depth. Well, I guess I'll go fuck myself then, engine. Man? Really? Hold on, let's try masked. But then throw this into a dither temporal. Put the result in there. Okay, apply. What does it look like? This is what we did last time with Suit for Hire. I don't know if it would work for this game. Like it could match the vibe. Like it could match the vibe. It could actually. It could match the vibe. Maybe. Like it could. Let's turn off all of the randomness in the dither. Is that in Niagara also? I believe it is. Yes, the cutout. I sent you a video from Prismatica. Oh, it was a different video. Okay, hold on. The dither temporal AA node. Come on, man. Guys, come on. I know. Wait, how did he make it look? I think that's just compression, making it look like way more poopy. Yeah. We're using it right here. Like, the dither temporal could give us kind of a result of like what we'd maybe want it to look like. It kind of gives off the vibe that we might want. Now, the question is, how does the overdraw look like for this? Well, shader complexity very low. How about quad overdraw? Pretty low. They're like pixels. We can probably... This might fit the vibe of the game. Like, it might fit the vibe of the game. We gotta set this to unlit. Also, I'm pretty sure... Okay, this is in the started content. Okay, we're fine. Let's do unlit. Why does it look like that? Why does it look brown? why is it poop colored? Why is it poop colored? Poop color? Why is it poop color? Maybe that's, you know what? This is just part of the vibe. It's just part of the vibe. It's just part of the vibe. It's friend slop. Yeah, we're getting real friend sloppy with it. Now it's white. Okay, what the hell, man? I think the problem with unlit is that it does not take into account any sort of shadows, which really sucks. Specularity 1. No, specularity 0. Why is it brown? I think that has to be post-processing doing that. Whatever. Whatever. Cool enough. Cool. Cool little detail. Hey, Wolf. There you go. There you go. Stylization. Try to match this vibe, this. We're really polluting this tunnel, huh? I love the sound when the audio volume changes and you hear less of the reverb. I think when you get in the tunnel, we'd want like a lot of reverb. A real game dev would make the smoke collide. You ask me that like in a few weeks, okay? When I'm feeling crazy. When I'm feeling like being a fucking psychopath. Alright, ask me when I feel like being a psychopath. Psychopath? No, psychopath. 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 Says the guy that spent ages on the undercarriage? That didn't even take me that long. Sugma. Balls. Okay, let's move on to what we're actually working on today. Which was the input contexts. Bebop. What's the deal with Ubisoft, by the way? Did you end up getting sold to that company or whoever bought it? Whoever bought it? Doing smoke collisions would take longer? Dude, we're not putting smoke collisions. 2 hours, no progress, classic Crimson stream. What do you mean? We fixed the grippers. We fixed the grippers. They're like properly rotating everything now. There was a Ubisoft team in Canada that unionized. Yeah, we're not seeing that company. They're closing that place down probably. I'm kidding. They're gonna close that fucker down. Could they technically close it down when there's a union? Like, could they literally say, we don't have enough money to pay this one entire studio, we're just gonna close it all down? Hold on, I'm processing my brain. Processing. Okay. Items. Fire extinguisher. Input contexts. So the key label here is left mouse button is going to be spray, and then right mouse button is going to be shake. Spray and shake, baby. Spray and shake. Or alternatively, shake and spray. Shake and spray. Right. Krim, how much would I sell God Mode Interactive? I really love the name, man. I'm surprised nobody's even taken that name. God Mode Interactive. God Mode is such an OG like video game thing that I'm surprised nobody has like used it. Or maybe somebody has and I haven't checked enough trademark websites. I think it's cringy. What is God Mode Interactive? God Mode? It sounds like a 12-year-old named it. Great. Good for you. I think it's a great name. So, don't care. Don't care. God Mode Interactive currently has one big W on its resume. So, yeah. But how much would I sell it? I don't know, dude. Selling it would mean I would no longer be able to use the studio name, and I really love the studio name. It also means I'd be selling, I don't know. But let's be real, everything has a price. Saying that you don't have a price, I think is bullshit. How much would I sell the company for? I don't know. Definitely a few million. Yeah, definitely. Definitely a few million. No, honestly. But I'm just wondering how, like, I don't know, 10 mil, maybe? Maybe 15 mil? We'll see when this next game releases. I don't know. The thing is, though, by selling a company, you are also selling all of its goodwill and the brand work that you did and all of the work you did to get it to a certain point. So it's not just you selling what the company and the brand made, you're also 5 push-ups. I feel like I just got drive-by shot in the face. Yeah, I feel like by selling your company, you're also selling everything associated with it. And I don't know if, like, it would be hard for me to part ways. I think it would be due like 25 million. Would I trade my company for Ubisoft? No, I don't think so. Honestly, I'd rather start with my own foundation that I made myself, not some other person's foundation that honestly I don't care for. The reputation of Ubisoft is kind of poopy. I think I'd probably do, yeah, 25 million. That's my number. That's my number, 25 mil. That's my number. Can't believe tomorrow's Christmas Eve. Dude, I don't even know what I'm going to do for the holidays. I don't have any gifts or anything like that. I just, dude, time is passing too quickly. I literally can't even catch up. I can't even catch up, man. I can't catch up. It's just too fast. I'm over here trying to make my games, and then the next minute it's fucking Christmas, and then in the next minute it's my partner's birthday, and then it's Valentine's Day, and then all of a sudden it's fucking summer, and then before you know it, oh well, now you're gonna think about going on a trip somewhere. Well, oh shit. Well, now I gotta think about, like, you know what I mean? Like, what, dude? Your train looks like a Lego, motherfucker. We're fixing the Lego. We're fixing the Lego. Get the Lego out of here. I ain't dealing with this shit no more. I can't deal with this anymore. I can't deal with it anymore. Yeah, man, dude. Yeah, I know. It's crazy. Time is passing just like way too insanely fast, and I don't even know like how to catch up. I don't even know how to catch up. Yeah, Lego now, huh? Now it's Mega Blocks, motherfucker. Ugly ass Mega Blocks, fucking. Let me see if I still have this material somewhere. I think it was either Ronin or... No, I think this was for Ronin. No, I think this was for a marketplace pack. Which folder is this in? Game library, no. I got a bunch of fucking garbage on my thing here. Where is Runner's Paradise? I'm pretty sure that's where it is. Am I in the wrong folder? Am I in the wrong folder? Dude, we made... Why do I work on so many stupid shit? Runner's Paradise. Pretty sure it's in that one. There it is. Found it. Textures. Air ducts. Wrong one. Fan? Where's the fan? Fan? Pipe trims. No. Painted metal. No, that's not it. Liquid tank. That's not it. HVAC unit. Wait. No, that's not it. Fuck. Unique container. Bro, where are the fans? Maybe I did make this for Ronin, now that I think about it. And then I just brought it into this pack. Wait. No. Is the fan inside of here? No, it's not in there. You'll be 40 in the blink of the eye? Don't say that, man. Don't say that. I'm almost 30. I'm almost 30, man. Don't say that. Someone shut that guy up. Don't say that. That's not funny. This is in a different folder. I think this is in Ronin. We're going back to Ronin, chat. We're going back. We're going back. Back. Oh, back. Materials. No. This would be in graphics. And then it would be in textures. Materials. No. Balls. Models. Environment. Air conditioning unit. Textures. Yes! I found it. Oh, fuck yeah. I'm in. We're in. So this is the texture. It just has one texture. It's just this one texture, but that's all we need. And then in here, we're gonna take this, and I guess we'll move it up here. And then this will be, so we got main, and then we got fan, and then this has to be unwrapped. And then I believe it's whatever that is, which is surely probably something like that. Okay. Okay. Is that a CD? No, no, no. You're gonna see. You're gonna see. Hold on. Hold on. Listen. So I do say I'm stupid, but I gotta say, past me when he came up with this idea, he was pretty fucking smart. He was pretty smart. He was a pretty smart dude. Sometimes, kind of, sort of. Yes. So create a material with this, then move the material back to the other folder. Not a psychopath. M_fake fan movement. Okay, so here's how this works. It's a fake fan with already baked in motion blur. So all we got to do is slap a rotator to it and then speed it up a bunch. And we got ourselves a fan. We got ourselves a fan. That's it. One thing we do need to do is turn off this, do clamp. There we go. What's wrong with the alpha? When you do a rotator with an object that looks like this, it's probably actually like rotating everything, and then it gets all fucky. Are marketplace asset packs worth it in your opinion? Yes, the amount of time that you save is great, but you gotta, it depends on which asset, of course. Not a huge fan. All right, listen here, man. You think you're funny, huh? Where's my fan? Did I forget to assign it? Whoopsies. I'm actually kind of surprised Blender did not export it if it wasn't assigned. And then we got ourselves some fake fans. Look at that. I do notice, however, of course, we need to add this as well. And then we got ourselves a little bit of WPO in there. Pretty cool, huh? They spin in different directions. Yeah, you're right. But let me see, actually. We could probably change the data. Offset, mirror the U by 1. I believe that should... and mirror the V by 1. That should fix it so they all go in the right direction. What? Huh. What the hell? The hell happened? Huh? Okay, man. Is this funny to you? How the fuck does the mirror UV work? I guess it just doesn't. Ha ha ha! It works by not working. Who would have thought? Who would have thunk? Watching you from my TV, by the way. No being naughty. Yeah, boy. Who's there? Nice place you got here, huh? Whatever, fuck it. What if the fans are going to go in different directions? Who cares? Sure. Very cool. Moving fans, eh? Big fan, huh? Let's make it go faster. Let's make it go real fast. Let's make that motion blur do its job. Do I hate going in the UV editor in Blender? Well, it's just more so the fact that these are all mirrored. So I can't edit these one by one. So I was hoping that the mirror would work. So, yeah. But fortunately it does not. Mirror the U texture coordinate around the flip offset point. I don't even know what that means. What is the flip UV offset point? And where do I specify the flip UV offset point? Don't know. You know what it's probably doing is it's probably flipping it based off... I don't think it's flipping it off of the cursor. And then what it ends up doing is that the clamp doesn't allow it to work. This would probably work in wrap. Sure. But yeah, on the subject of marketplace assets, I think they are great. They save you time. However, they don't save you time in the sense that you are just one and done with the asset. It's just more so you have, the model is done, the texture is done for the most part to an extent, but you are still going to have to do optimizations. Because at the end of the day, no matter the marketplace asset, it could be the most optimized marketplace asset with trim sheets and a bunch of other stuff. You're still going to have to probably do some optimizations to it because you'll probably have a like kit of tileable textures that you're using throughout your project that you want to reuse even across other marketplace assets. The reality is you're going to have to optimize. Like there's no avoiding it. You know, I think what's going on is the mirror is mirroring it or it's flipping it. Amount to offset the mirrored UV's flipping point from the 0.5 on the U axis. This should work then. Why doesn't it work? Depends on what you're optimizing for. Of course, you know, that also is very heavily dependent, of course, as well. Generally, marketplace assets will also aim for the highest texture quality for everything because they don't necessarily know what use cases are going to be involved for things. It could be that the assets might want to be used in a cinematic sense. So having highest texture size is actually very good because then you can at least downscale. Upscaling things, kind of hard, kind of cringe, kind of annoying. Yeah, you can use AI, whatever, blah, 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 blah. But being able to downscale something is a lot easier than having to upscale it, so yeah. What the? I kind of like that. I'm not gonna lie, I like that indent. Accidental indent, but it's actually pretty pog. Whatever. I don't want to get too detailed with this shit. Because this entire design I want to change. I don't like the design too much. Yeah, Yeah, I'm not going to touch this right now. We need to work on the input contexts. I have short-term memory loss. I'm like losing track of what the fuck I'm working on. Where am I? Okay, so the input context. We need to make it so when you equip an item, on the right side, I want to show... Excuse me? It's stuck on my screen. I think it's because it was trying to load in, and then it okay, well, it's something to remember. Anyways, whatever. We'll fix that later. We'll just fix it later. Fuck. Anyways, we need to work on the input contexts. So in the items here, we added the fire extinguisher input context. Left mouse button, spray, right mouse button, shake. For the hand crank, we would have only one button, which is a right mouse button, crank. It's a hand crank flashlight. We might as well just use the word crank. Crank it. Why are you shaking a fire extinguisher? Because that's just the video game. It's to refill it, get it mixed up, because you run out of juice. Yeah, and then if you do too much, well, it explodes. Oh, it's using the smoke material that we just changed with the mask material. That actually looks pretty good. It's pretty good. So if you charge it up too much, it explodes. That smoke material actually looks really good. I actually yeah. Oh, selling. Oh, sorry. Okay, downsides of selling assets is you, depending on the type of asset and the complexity of it. Okay, if you make static mesh marketplace assets, like just like art assets and stuff, that's easier to manage. If you do anything with like plugins or any code, you are gonna have people going into your support email and asking the most unhinged fucking questions. And then if you do not answer them, they will 1-star your asset. So that is the one downside I would say of making assets is you kind of become a little bit of a babysitter. An unpaid babysitter in some respects. I mean that in the most disrespectful way possible, because some of these motherfuckers that message you are absolutely just on a different level. But the amount of passive income that you can make from doing those assets can be extremely beneficial. And if you just keep at it and you keep making assets, you can build up, you know, like many asset creators, you can build up kind of a repertoire, a rapport, whatever. You know what I mean? People will want more of your art style, which is, you know, it can be very beneficial. So I've time and time again have heard people say that they started releasing marketplace assets and now they're making some passive income, and I think that's great. Yeah. I know we joke here a lot, but your game's coming together and it's looking great. Thank you, Moon Chaser. Thank you. Finally, one positive comment the entire day. Wow, it's the holidays and hey, finally we got one on the board. We got one positive comment on the board. You're nowhere near close to done. Get back to work. What are you, my boss? Okay, anyways, input context. Don't feed this millionaire's ego. I'm not a millionaire. And I don't even have, well, okay, I have a little bit of an ego, but like, it's not like inflated. Loving the new friendslop game. I'm actually really enjoying working on it, and I hope you guys are too. It seems like you guys are enjoying it because we're kind of like doing a bunch of different things like multiplayer and whatnot. And we've started streaming literally the entire process from the very beginning. So you can see everything in the YouTube VODs for the most part. Mostly. There are some stuff I do off stream. Christmas update when? I'm going to be honest. I love the holidays vibe of The Division 1. And I would love to make a game that's like just like for the entire year within that vibe. I think it'd be so cool. It'd be great. I would love that. Some sort of apocalypse, but within the holiday time. Do you think someone's going to bid 5K for this game too, right before release? All right, wasn't there someone that came into Twitch chat was like, would you sell this game for 5K to me? I remember that guy. Yeah. Remember that guy. It's a funny guy. Comedian. One might say he's a comedian now, doing stand-up. I don't know. Interested in the lore and whatever the world settles on. We got some ideas, but I want to try to find ways of making that lore told in other ways other than like text. I want to try to avoid big texts as much as possible and somehow try to find a ways to explain that lore through the world, which I think could be really fun. Yeah. Future request: those chimney fans can blow you up or sideways. That could be cool. Little boost into the next little train cabin. I was thinking that if you jump in, you get eviscerated, but maybe that's a little too intense. that might be a little too violent. That being said, this game is pretty violent. Like, there's a chef that turns you into a hot dog and then he eats you. There's a train segment in Abiotic Factor and it's giving those vibes a little. I gotta look at that. I know someone referenced Abiotic Factor early on. I think mostly for art style. But I did not know it had a train section. Very cool. Anyways. Look at that. Input contexts. Let's get that going in here. So for our input context, we need a vertical slot in the UI. We need its own widget to create the key label and the description. So we're going to need two objects. Let's throw it into the Trello so that we get organized so I don't lose track of things. Let's turn this into its own tasks. Let's add a checklist to this. Widget for single input context. Then we're going to need system to add/remove input contexts based on equipped item. Also make a big gap between carriages. You have to jump over, and if you miss, you die. I don't know if I want to add like fall damage. Oh, you mean like literally a gap, like a collision gap. Okay, we had a collision gap, and I didn't really like it too much. So I kind of removed that gap. Yeah. Spoiler, it's like a pocket dimension. If the train stops, the universe collapses, I think is implied, just lore though, it's not a mechanic. I think the closest thing we have as a reference in this game is Monsters Inc., funny enough. Because the entire idea is the passengers live in their own societies within a human world, and the sausage people are like workers that are like put at risk to take all of these passengers who are essentially monsters around the world from station to station. It's very like Monsters Inc.-esque in some ways. That's the current lore, but we'll see what ends up, happening. I kind of want to like expand upon that in some ways. I think it's like a fun idea. Is like monsters living in their own kind of like society. System to add such remove input context, vertical box on the HUD to contain all the input context. Okay, we are ready. Put this bad boy on the HUD. Okay, so we're gonna need a vertical box to contain all of our inputs, and it's gonna be on the right side. I guess we'll put it in the we'll put it in the bottom right corner for now. What is the padding of the health bar? 45. And then we need to make a separate widget in here. Single input context. This is going to be a horizontal box. It's going to need one text wrapped with a border, and then another text on the right side. And then we're going to want a bit of padding on the left side. Maybe not too much. Let's do a bit of padding on the top and bottom. That should allow us to emulate padding when we start adding these things together. Then let's do desired. So we can see how this looks. Then let's go ahead and make it so the text block, let's do we'll do W, or let's do left mouse button as our testing. That's the content color. That's not what we want. We need the brush. So the brush is going to be like this dark color with some alpha. And then this needs to be centered. I edited the wrong padding. That's okay. I did not. Wait, what? Why was the value different? Huh? This is too much. 16. Never mind. Go back. I like it like that. This, let's make it rounded. Rounded box with a fixed radius. 12. Now I get a rounded box. Maybe we could try a different font. Never mind. Let's go back to where we were. Maybe we could try Roboto Tiny for this one. No, let's go back. Maybe non-bold. Let's just make this regular. Okay. Okay. So this will be a variable. We'll call this the description text block. And then this will be the key input text block. Okay, now we're going to want two variables in here. Text. We want to expose on spawn for both of these. This is going to be the input text, and this is going to be the description text. Why don't you use some kind of Google font? I'm just too lazy to import a font right now. And a lot of our UI stuff is kind of like just temp stuff for now while we figure out the rest of the game. So that's really it, honestly. So here we'll set the text. And then set the text of the description. Okay. Pog. Huge laziness. Listen, I'm trying to learn from my past mistakes, which is hyper-focusing on little tiny things too often and for too long, and then we end up spending 5 years on a game that should have been finished in like a year or two. You know, you know what I mean? 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 Yeah. You know what I mean. Okay. We do not have an internal padding, which is kind of fucking annoying. That is as expected. Also, this is too big. So let's make this 16. Make this 16 as well. Let's reduce the left padding of that. And then let's test it again. I like that. I like that size for now. I like that size for now. We might even be able to make this smaller. Let's do 16, but then the top and bottom can be 12. Try it again. Yeah, I'm cool with that. Okay, so now that we have that, all good. All good. At least now you're rich, though. I'm not rich! I'm not! I'm not rich. I'm not rich. I have just gained... how do I put this? I released one successful game that has allowed me to go full-time for a period of time. But I would not consider that as rich. I would consider that as privileged. Not rich. There's a difference. There's privilege here, but not. I wouldn't say rich. Okay? Don't get it twisted. Rich would mean you could spend money on literally anything and you wouldn't even think twice about it. Yeah. Same privilege that trust fund kids have. I wouldn't say that kind of privilege. Because I feel like trust fund kids, I feel like they didn't really work to get that money. You know, I put some work in. Not like I'm a Nepo baby. It's not like I randomly got put into Blizzard, you know what I mean? Like, when do you think twice about the marketplace assets I buy? I do think pretty long about the marketplace assets. Not rich, but lives in the most expensive city in Canada? No. The most expensive city is Vancouver, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's more expensive than Toronto. I think. Don't quote me on that. I'm pretty sure Vancouver's more expensive. Clip it. Where am I? Where the fuck I am? Let's make a function. Update input contexts. Yes. Yes. Let's do input current item. The item data, lootable item data table, blah, 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 blah. Then in here, we can get the current item. Then we can here get the input contexts. And then from here, we got a for each loop. And then from here, we can do a bunch of bullshit. First off, we need to create this VBox and turn it into a variable so then we can start modifying it. This is going to clear all of the children inside of here, and then we're going to create new things. Now I should create a widget pool, not clear it and then add new things, but I don't give a fuck. I don't care. Shoot me. Create widget. This is going to be single context. Then we can break the input context, put the key and the input. Owning player is going to be the owning player of the widget. And then from here, we're going to add it to the vertical box, which is right here. Add child. Add child. I don't know what the difference is between add child to vertical box and add child. I think it's just the output. I don't know, but we'll just use this one because I feel like that one's safer. Then we're going to want to set the padding because otherwise they're going to be tightly together. And the top and bottom. Actually, just top. Yes, top should be. Yes. Yeah. Maybe 8. Maybe 8. We do 8? 8 pixels? Okay. Big fan. Huge fan. Humongous. Enormous, actually. One might say. Include the children, add the input contexts, and we are set and ready to freaking go. We're ready to go, man. We're ready to go. So every time we equip a new item, let's do a binding. Let's bind it. So then that way I can just listen to it rather than having to send data to it. Let's do equipped item. New item equipped, I guess. I don't know. Let's add an input. That input is going to be item data. Item compile save. They bought a house in Canada for $85K and they sold the same house in 2024 for 450K. Yeah. Basically, you can safely assume when you live in Canada and you're like, you know, my age, you're not affording a house unless you win, I don't know, the scratch slot of the month or something. the scratch card of the month. If you win that fucker, then maybe you could afford a house. Maybe. That is after taxes. Actually, I think I remember hearing that the only people that pay taxes from those earnings is in the US. I think that's the only place that actually pays taxes. Apparently in Canada, we don't pay taxes. I don't know if that's true. Can someone search it up? Don't chat GPT it. Actually search it up. Like Google it like a normal person. Put the effort in, man. Put the sweat and tears in. Where's my equip item? Where's my... I'm in begin play. In the US, we do pay tax on lottery wins. Yeah, I think in Canada, we don't. Can someone quote me on that? Can someone quote me on this? Can someone quote me on this? That's not what I want. I literally just need to say, hey, this is what we equipped. Ah, fuck it. Just put it in here. Also, I need to do another thing in here. Update input contexts. We need to check if this is valid at all. Which I think it should not play through the for loop at all if there's nothing in it. So I don't think I need to do an is valid check. I think it's okay. I think, you know what? Ignore that. That's fine. That's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, that's fine. It's fine. Nothing wrong here. What are you doing, Shibby? Call new item equipped. Item will be the item data asset. Compile save. And then we need to read from that dispatcher. Okay, so new item equipped. We're gonna want to bind an event to fucking assign item. There we go. Okay. And then move this along here. And then what we're gonna do is call update input contexts. And then we're in business. Now, when we equip an item, it should show crank in the corner or spray. Yes. So now it shows the input. Chat is covering up. Hold on, chat. We're gonna close you for a second. Look at that. So when this explodes, does it hide? Oh, that's not good. It would appear some of my code is different in certain places. And honestly, I'm a fucking idiot for that. I'm so stupid. When that explodes, what is it calling? Chat, it would it would appear that it is actually getting an error because there is no item here. So I need to check if the item exists. That's fine. No problem. I knew there was an is valid required here. I had a feeling. You could use a create event and put the function there. Yes. You're right. However, we'd have to rename this from current item to item. And I think then we can do it. Good call. Okay, so the only problem now is when it explodes, it does not update because it is running some different code for some reason. I'm stupid. Partially, somewhat. I'm a dummy. I should have I don't know why, but I like put different code in different places when I should just be calling the same function. And don't talk to me. Yeah. Yeah, that's it. Update player inventory UI. Let's go ahead and when we update the player inventory UI, let's go ahead and well, okay, I guess we'll just do this. We'll go update input contexts, and then I guess I'll just directly read from the equipped item, which is somewhere else. Huh. Right. Let's Well, we know that if the fire extinguisher explodes, then the item that you currently had equipped would disappear. Therefore, we can just do a direct call to the player character and say, hey, update this, but with nothing. So we can call new item equipped and call nothing, which means it'll have nothing equipped because we know that the currently equipped item has blown up due to unforeseen circumstances, aka pressure buildup. Okay. Yes! Yes, all right. Nice. Little UI detail. It feels more like a video game now, right? Right? Copium? I don't know. Feels more like a video game. Once you put inputs on the screen, it becomes a video game. That's all it takes. A couple inputs on the screen.
Yes!
Dude, so good. 2 for 2. All right. Wait, what? Oh. I thought it no, I thought it landed here, but it ended up actually falling through the world. Okay, good stuff. We got the input context in. Get in the board. Green check mark or blue. Blue check mark. Blue check mark. And blue check mark. And then green check mark. Fuck. Usable says equipable items. Guess what? Green check mark. God. Yes! The Spalato Bros uploaded a new video. Who the hell is that? The who? The Spalato Bros? Should I know these people? Should I be knowing of these people? Okay. Okay. Overcharging the lamp should also explode, but as an electrical explosion, I don't know if I want to make everything explode, chat. Like, I don't know if I want to make this also explode. I don't know if I want to make that explode too. They make videos in the industry and it's pretty good content. Which industry? The game industry? We do need to make it so the battery loses battery, or the flashlight loses energy. And then we have to make it so turning the thing actually charges it. Only thing is we need to make that work on the server. If you crank it too much, it blinds the other players. I don't know if like every item should have like a thing that happens when you over crank it. You know what I mean? Like I don't know if everything should have an element of that. The smoke kind of is slightly headache inducing. Anybody else agree? The smoke is kind of headache inducing a little bit. It's slightly headache inducing. I'm not gonna lie. Or maybe I just have a headache right now. I feel like I do have a bit of a headache. I got a little bit of a headache. Need some water or something. I feel like all the lights are like really sensitive to my eyes right now. Wowee. Make electricity zap the player? Maybe. We could do some stuff like that. Alright, what's next on the chopping block? We do need to we do need to get the hand crank flashlight working. We do need to do that. Honestly, a big thing we should honestly do, I'm putting it off. I keep putting it off because I'm terrified of this next task. We should get started on the monsters. We should. It's a pretty big element of the game, and we haven't even gotten started at all. I am honestly kind of putting it off a little bit to an extent because I'm terrified of that task. But we probably should work on it at some point. I feel like my eyes are getting tired. Didn't you pause yesterday because of eye stuff? No, my eye just got like really itchy all of a sudden, and then like once I itched, like itched it a little bit. It was like fucking, I don't know, I think it might have been dry. I think it's just me being tired right now. Also could be my coffee. The caffeine could be hitting me a little bit. Let's watch a video. Let's chill a little bit. I feel like we've been doing some pretty good progress. Any
Shit
good
my
game dev
pants, I
videos?
did.
Toxic, thank you for the prime. Thank you. Thank you, brother. Thank you. Let's see here. What have we got going on here? What have we got going on over here? What have we got over here? It's a bit noisy at the moment compared to the rest for sure. Yeah, maybe we like soften it up a little bit. I don't know. I kind of want to see how this easy delivery. Let's check out this Easy Delivery Co. game, eh? I remember seeing this game and I was interested in picking it up. I think it's on my wish list. You're like a cat delivering things. It's got a little bit of like a retro vibe. Let's watch it. It is React Hour. It's chill React Hour. It's a cool little game. Should I give it a try? I feel like it has a slightly horror undertone. Is that true or no? It's just very chill. Ah! Ah! My Amazon package!
Hey there, I'm Sam C, also known as Sweaters, and I'm the developer behind Easy Delivery.
Definitely tried. It's not scary. Okay. I don't know why I got like that vibe. Like it's like there's like a twist to it.
The development of the game. So I'm Sam. I've been making games for a little while now. I'm a programmer, but I've always loved art and drawing, but mostly I've just stuck to pixel art. Easy Delivery Co. all started after my university capstone project, which was a fun dual-wielding grapple hook slinging FPS. I had a great team and a lot of fun making.
Is it because of the yeah, maybe it is because of the PS1 style.
Programming a first-person shooter. So right after that project, I jumped into Unity, the intent of making a fun driving model for any sort of video game that I wanted. It actually started as a split-screen racing game. Around the time I was deciding what I wanted as a vehicle, I started watching a bunch of YouTube content.
The fucking wheels, dude. They're so like so separated from the car. They're got some crazy suspension going on.
UK truck, roughly based on a Honda Acti for anybody that's interested. Once it was in the game, I figured why not play some rigid bodies in the back and see what happened, and it turns out it was pretty fun. Everything stemmed from there. I started by
dev reacting instead of deving. I do. I just want to chill a little bit. You know, my brain's going crazy.
At the time,
my brain's exploding.
Game, I think, or a driving game, a delivery game. I forget. This early map is almost the exact same layout as the final version of Mountain Town, just without any of the polish. It's so weird looking back and seeing this now. I actually almost gave up.
What game is this? Easy Delivery Co.
Not many people seemed to particularly vibe with the gameplay besides myself. But after a break, I came back to it. I changed the camera to follow behind the truck, and I added a little guy that could hop out and pick up delivery boxes. And naturally, you need something to pick up from, so I added NPCs to all the stores, and they became the lovely shopkeepers that we have today.
What the?
These two changes, along with actually adding sections, was what really got the game rolling.
That's not how you get in a car.
I really just followed whatever.
That's how the car gets in.
Fun playing. So if I thought it'd be fun to be able to fire, I just went and did it. Easy Delivery Co. is just a game about driving and delivering packages, but honestly, more so the driving. The deliveries are kind of just the glue that gives you a purpose when driving around and vibing. That's actually why the packages have stayed almost the same way that they were in the first prototype. They're flavored, not the challenge.
Cars bugged?
Affect the driving, but I really didn't want to make a fine game about keeping
perfectly normal
back, so it's a super lenient system. There's only ever just one package or payload. It's been
watching another dev like this makes a video like this makes me feel like I need to lock in. It's a feeling I don't get when I watch Crim. Okay, here. Okay, listen here, motherfucker. Okay, listen here, motherfucker. Mods.
Since the payload itself is still present.
Mods, turn him into an Amazon package, then accidentally drop him off a cliff, and then make him roll off the cliff and then into the ocean.
And make it so that the packages could fall out and stay out, because I think getting out and grabbing it is a really core part of the experience as well. Driving is the point of the game, but getting out, living and chatting and surviving is such an important part too. I really wanted to dial in on the coziness, and I think the juxtaposition of freezing to death outside and the warm truck cab or a cozy shop really adds to that feeling of safety. But it was also just an excuse to add random survival mechanics that I thought were interesting. If it's not obvious, one of my favorite games is The Long Dark, which is a really beautiful winter survival game. The game has an amazing and even cozy atmosphere, despite being such a brutal and unforgiving survival game.
There's a train!
But even before playing The Long Dark,
you can see that at the end there?
Really into the idea
Can I raise the audio a little bit?
Survival game. So once again, following what I would have fun playing, I figured instead of waiting for my next game to do this, I'll just add the mechanics to easy to.
Bro just casually loaded a bunch of bullets in there that were like perfectly straight without a clip. I think he used Unity H derp. Never heard of it. Oh, that's cozy. Oh, I like that. I could just drive on that for ages. And by ages, I mean maybe like 10 minutes.
But anyway, back to development. I created a Steam page, started posting more about it online.
First person!
Showcased the game at an event in Toronto.
Ooh, that's a really nice UI. What the fuck, dude? That's cool.
This is when I started really looking for a publisher. I felt like I had something promising, and I really wanted to turn it into my first real released game. I considered doing all of it myself, but I hadn't...
Dude, wait, hold on. Oh, the map is sick! What the fuck? Yo, wait, yo, hold on. I want to see how well the game did. Dude, it did fucking great. Good job, Sam. Let's fucking go. Let's fucking go. First game release. Let's fucking go. Dude, hell yeah. Wait, it's not on my wish list. Let me buy this. I'm going to buy it. Minimum wage gambling. Dude, hell yeah. Dude, the logo and the thing and the everything and the it's great. That's fucking great. Good job.
Taking time away
from it looks so good, dude. Like, look at the map and everything.
Marketing. And I was already finding it really hard to juggle development and
So wait, did he find a publisher or did he self-publish it? Oh, he did find a publisher. Oro Interactive. Oh, this game. I do remember this game. Why are there so many? It's so funny because you got like this publisher that has a shit ton of fucking like horror games, and then you got this cozy ass game out of nowhere. Never mind, he's poor since he has a publisher. You don't know. All publishers take a different percentage, so who knows? Who knows?
Time retail job. So after meeting with a few other publishers, Oro Interactive actually found me, and they seemed really on board with this tiny little delivery game. I was super nervous about signing anything, but it worked out wonderfully, and the guys at Oro were awesome to work with. Kill
for this. Like, I don't have that many friends to play games these days, but I would kill for this to be co-op. You know, co-op with your friends. It's almost like web fishing, but like you're just delivering shit. I vibe with that, with a little bit of progression shit, or maybe, you know, I don't know, give my cat a hat or something. I don't fucking know.
You could select jobs, drink energy drinks, and do deliveries, and that was about it. The goal of the demo was to glue all that together with some tutorial and mystery to sort of onboard players into the real gameplay of just chilling and delivering packages. The demo, for anyone unfamiliar, looked like this. There was one map, Mountain Town. You can see yourself.
I can't get over the design of the map. It's like this. It's so simple. It's just it's two shade, technically. It's, well, one. It's just a singular color, but with the background transparency, but like. That's sick.
Mountain Town. You can see yourself on the
map. Reamer?
The shopkeepers stood outside of their stores.
It's possible maybe he can make it in co-op? I have no idea.
Or just
I don't expect that. But it looks great, man. Even in single player.
And the main goal was buying a shovel to access the rest of the map and activating the 2 radio towers, one of which requiring a lantern. And there was also these snow piles that built up on the road during a blizzard.
Brother, dude, bro, fucking half of the packages are on the street, man.
With the game's identity. So,
Oh, classic Amazon fucking delivery, man. That was mine. Say goodbye to your RTX 5090. It's on the street now.
away from the core delivery loop. I ultimately decided to focus on just the driving and delivering. I really tried to make sure everything supported what I originally found fun about the game. Easy Delivery Co. really is just a game about driving and delivering packages. I focused on making new maps and intercity deliveries to make longer drives possible. I made the progression based mostly on useful upgrades to the truck instead of items. And I got rid of the map marker.
Wow. Hell yeah. Oh yeah, hell yeah. Oh, the blinking light. Oh, hell yeah. See, this game is yet another great example that your first game release can be fucking good. And anybody who keeps saying this shit like your first 10 games are never going to be successful, I think it's fucking bullshit. I think it's bullshit. There's so much negativity surrounding the indie game dev space. We need to get this negativity out of here. Okay, maybe your first few games might do well, but that's just because you got to get in the mindset of like what Sam did here, which is great, is he focused on cozy delivery game with some survival elements, probably some elements of progression, and then like a very suspenseful kind of story that kind of keeps you going, keeps you interested in the vibe, and then great fucking atmosphere. I hate this like this like fucking mentality where it's like you got to make like 20 shit games before you can have one that's successful. I think it's fucking bullshit. I think it's bullshit. My first game release did well. Now, that being said, it took me maybe 10 years, 8 years, 9 years to get to that point. So I think it all is within specific like circumstance. This atmosphere is awesome. I love it, dude. It's awesome. The red blinking in the dude. And then the snow, it looks like the trees have like volume to the dude, hell yeah. People like to set limits on others, which they believe. I don't know. Like, I guess you could always, like... I feel like people are always just trying to set specific, like, expectations on other people. I don't think other people should set expectations for other people. People should set their own expectations. Stop trying to set other people's expectations. If you want to be a source of education for people, just educate them with like game design and whatever. Don't try to push a specific like mentality that should be on other people. Just do whatever the fuck you want to do. If you want to work on your dream game, do that, sure. I think everybody at some point will figure out if scope is like a, you know, something that they need to focus on or whatever, right? That's a constant issue for everybody. I don't know. I just hate that narrative of like, you're gonna release like 20 unsuccessful games that are ass on itch.io to really make a real game. It's like, what? Since when? Since when? I don't know. I hate that mentality. Now, that's not without saying, oh, your first game release has to be a success. No, it's just try to make a good game for your first game. Just go through with it like with a proper scope and everything. And yeah, what's this? AAU Black Site. Ooh. It's got a bit of a vibe to it. Uh-oh. It's got a lot of strawberry jam on the screen. It's reminding me of Modern Warfare. I gotta admit, though, that's a cool-ass shot. This is a cool shot. With the fucking, like... I don't know why there's a rig in the back here. But, this is a cool shot. That's a really cool shot, man. I gotta say, it's got some really cool atmosphere. What is this meant to be? Your covert mission in Serbia goes wrong fast. Very cool. Psychological horror. Very cool. I don't know if I like the camera movement. I think is a lot, but it's cool. It's got some cool vibes. Very cool vibes. Seems like a long way of saying practice helps you improve, but I don't know if you need to necessarily make full games for that. For me, I learned a lot by just trying to make games and then at some point following through with it and actually ending up releasing one. I feel like you don't need to release 20 small games to get there. I think releasing games is a you learn a lot from releasing a game. But yeah. Hold on. I wouldn't take these rules so literal, you know? I know, but some people I feel like do take those rules literal, especially because like it comes, a lot of the, sometimes the things those people say comes from like a person, like an individual of, not authority, but like someone who has like, has a level of, what's the word I'm looking for? Has a level of, like notoriety, I guess is the best word of a level of reputation, yeah, notoriety, influence, yeah, those are probably the words that I'm looking for. And it can be dangerous having those kinds of, I don't know. I just think having those set in stone rules is dangerous. I don't know. Sam over here did a great job of like really seeing, hey, cozy delivery game with some survival elements and just fucking, that's the pitch. Literally, that's the pitch. Cozy, suspenseful delivery game. You're a cat and there's some survival elements and that's it. And just focus on those elements. And then just the rest is atmosphere, fucking vibe, like great graphical art style. It's awesome. It's cool.
This was by far the best decision I've ever made for the game, but I also knew it would be super.
I love the red emissives, man.
The demo launch also came with hours and hours of footage of people playing my game, and something that stood out to me was that most people never really looked at where they were going. Most people just peeped at the map for a few seconds to see what direction the map marker was moving instead of following the road ahead.
So he removed the map marker?
And I think part of that is being able to navigate the roads like it's the back of your hand. It was really fun for me to do whole deliveries without looking at the map, especially in the areas I just made and hadn't driven much on. I couldn't shake the feeling that the map marker was basically stopping so many players from learning the roads because they simply never needed to, which meant that they wouldn't really be able to find the game fun in the same way that I did. To me, navigating is also just a fun challenge to overcome. It's something I love in other games like Long Dark or even Metroid. But even
bro, man, they ain't fucking clearing the roads.
I had to make sure it was as approachable as possible by adding the road signs and emphasizing the store names. I also decided
when you know the route and just gun it there as fast as you can. I think there are a lot of games these days that completely forget about the element of self-discovery and suspense. And suspense could literally be as simple as just not really knowing exactly where you are in a map. And they kind of remove that. And there's some certain design reasons as to why that happens, is because the game isn't really focused on you getting lost in certain scenarios. And because they did playtesting and people get lost and they get lost for like fucking hours. But it's like, then at that, the thing that I think is magical about this game that is great, the art style allows you to do that kind of element of like, okay, this is where you can go, right? those other games that have that issue where they have to use yellow paint and whatnot is because their graphics are too fucking noisy. So you can't, like, you don't know what thing is a gameplay mechanic anymore at that point. So now you got to start slapping things with like a super saturated color that like is like really out there and just doesn't really make sense to the area that you're in. That's why I think having an art style that isn't necessarily noisy and allows you to actually use more color theory and whatnot is actually like really good and important.
The drop-off points aren't as clearly marked as stores.
I love the snow in this too. The vibe is great.
100% accurate GPS system under the hood that could tell you exactly what road to go down and when. But it's simply to give an accurate distance for the jobs when calculating.
That's a lot of pizza.
But
that's a lot of pizza. Wait, this pizza place gets their pizza delivered to the pizza place? This isn't a real pizza place. What the hell? Wait, hold on.
Simply the drop-off points aren't.
Wait. Why is it the pizza place? You're delivering pizza to the pizza place. Wait.
Accurate distance for the.
This place doesn't even make their own pizza.
When calculating the price. But it came in handy for the distance meter, and it could also be used for very accurate CPU drivers. I would love to do more feature-specific devlogs at some point.
They're hungry, bro.
What you'd like to hear more about. With that being said, thanks for watching my first devlog.
Dude, I think they have a second devlog, art style and scope. Let's check it out.
In this one.
Oh, you know what? I didn't watch this because I did not like the mic quality. I felt like I was getting like air fried. Maybe he's just delivering the boxes. That's true. Maybe he is just delivering. That's true. But I like the lore that they're delivering the pizzas to the pizza place.
My second devlog for Easy Delivery Co. In this one, I'm going to be talking a bit about the art style.
Yeah, I think it was the mic. The mic.
I forgot to mention in the last
hurt my brain.
Is out already on Steam. These devlogs aren't really to promote the game. They're more just to document my process and decisions and share them with anybody that's interested. But if you are interested, the game is on Steam, so I'll link it in the description. So here's some context. I've been making games for a while now. I've been coding and making pixel art sprites for about...
Talking with different characters? Yeah,
and I've known Unity for 5 of that. So I'm relatively new to 3D. If you're a developer or a frequent game dev YouTube, you probably know this all too well, but it's really important to manage your game's scope. How I understand it is that ideas can grow larger than your ability to implement them, and it's just a recipe for an unfinished game. I'm a big advocate for making tiny games. It's kind of all I've done up to this point. Making tiny games has really helped me learn game art and programming, but it's also helped me learn my limits and manage my expectations for finishing projects. For example, Data Restored is...
He calls another place and charges more? Yeah.
It was supposed to be a week-long project, and it turned into almost 2 months because I didn't account for just how long it would take to make levels. When it came to Easy Delivery Co., I knew it would be the biggest project I've ever attempted by a long shot. In order to keep the scope down, my plan was to design the game based on what I already knew how to do. I'm not the strongest when it comes to level design or art, but I love programming. So it wouldn't make sense, for example, to make another linear level-based game. But a simple open world governed by a few systems and tight driving physics was playing right into my strengths. The art style is also a direct response to that. What do you do when 3D art isn't your specialty? Well, I just picked a lower fidelity art style. I mean, in reality, it was a lot slower of a process. I knew the vibe I was going for, and it did take a lot of iteration before.
Oh my god, he doesn't have a mic boom.
I try to polish it as much as possible before moving on, but there's...
Do you guys mind if I skip ahead? You guys mind? Alright, I'm doing it anyways. Oh, Blockbench. He's using Blockbench. I've always been interested in these kind of like software because it seems interesting, but...
With every asset, I tried keeping things as low poly as possible, and I did a lot of the pixel art textures right in.
It's a first person, bro.
It took a little.
He's got little paws on the car.
Before I really committed to the PS1 look, I was really set on coming up with something fresh. So I was trying to combine some more modern elements like real-time lighting and shadows with the low fidelity assets and crunchy graphics, but it just didn't look as good.
No top-down though.
Up until this point, I was...
There's third person though, third person and first person.
Like actual PS1 games, so I went and did...
Did you use Blockbench for everything then?
It's actually worked and what the limitations were.
I would guess so.
The low resolution, the fog, and the low poly. But
maybe a mix of Blender and Blockbench, I'm sure. Just, you know, simple textures and shit.
Day-night cycle, and it used to be that the directional light would orbit around the scene like a real sun. I got rid of that and replaced it with just a single gradient that determines the ambient lighting color of any time of the day. This also matched the game's setting even better because it ends up being a lot closer to what actual lighting looks like on an overcast.
First person definitely a cool option for that though. It's definitely very cool. It's got like a vibe to it.
Textures. It adds such a cool low.
A little nauseating though, I ain't gonna lie, because like how floaty the car kind of is.
However, are hand-drawn pixel art, which helps them stand out against the rest of the world.
I feel like I wouldn't play too long in first person because of how bouncy it is.
It all started with these little minigame handhelds that I made before I was good with Unity. For a school assignment, I wanted to remake them.
Yeah, I wouldn't use it all the time for
Basically
sure.
Remaking this little JavaScript library that I've been developing, but in Unity instead. In a way that I can draw sprites from a sprite sheet anywhere onto a texture. That's kind of the backbone of it. It's probably super inefficient, but it's really my favorite way of making games thanks to the time I've had with my JavaScript library and the games I've made with Pico 8. I know how to do UI in the Unity system, but it's not my cup of tea. I just use this instead for everything, and it's so much fun to make interfaces, and I love how it looks. You can probably make a whole game with this system, and I really do want to do that.
You said you were going to stream on Monday? What do you mean? It's Tuesday. What's on Monday? What's on Monday? It's Tuesday? Yes. Did I stream yesterday? I'm pretty sure I did, right? Did I not?
Going back to scope, here's how that went for me. Easy Delivery Co was meant
It's
to be
no, it's not. It's not Wednesday. Tomorrow's Wednesday.
Yet it was still planned to be less than a year.
This motherfucker.
My original scope was to have the deliveries in just Mountain Town with a bit of on-foot exploration and a small narrative mystery to uncover.
It's not
The
Wednesday.
scope didn't really increase because my ideas grew. It was more because the pressure of delivering something great was building fast, especially after the demo released. How I saw it, the success of the demo wasn't exactly.
I don't think there's necessarily snow buildup on the tires. It's just that if there is,
Serious Snowing Town, that sounds awesome.
if the tires are on the ground,
So many people.
there's that little spinning snow effect on it. That it looks like it's snow accumulation. I think it's just a texture that's panning with the tires.
Is that the idea presented and that the demo teased? It was really overwhelming, and it really became hard to work on the game. With the help of my lovely partner, I was able to get back into it. The solution was to really dial the scope back into what I originally wanted the game to be, but I still did decide to increase the scope by a significant amount because the confidence I had in my own abilities, as well as the expectations I had for myself, had grown quite a bit. I knew if I really pushed myself and made the most of development time, I could make something that fulfilled the promises of the idea just enough. And boy was it tough, and not for the reasons I thought. Game dev is pretty hard. It's a lot of programming, design, and art, but it's also very fun. But if I could tell my past self anything, it would be that finishing a bigger game is really tough. You get a lot of fun out of problem solving. And
Do you actually think you can hit any of the birds if you're fast enough?
There's a lot less.
I don't think it's that type of game.
Marathon. I didn't expect to spend like 80% of my time just finishing the game. There were so many.
It goes away when the tires are off the snow. Yeah, I think there's like a line trace just happening on the tire.
For example,
The singular tires, and if it's not hitting anything, then it's like
from start to finish was tight. Every single thing in the game needed to
probably not playing that effect.
function well and be understood.
And also depending on the speed
And
of the
bugs,
tire.
So many bugs, evil bugs. Maybe that's just a skill issue on my part. I did really try to program things as neatly and expandable as possible in the beginning, but time gets the better of you, and sometimes your code just becomes spaghetti really quickly, and then every little feature or bug fix you implement has unintended consequences in some other seemingly unrelated feature. Anyway, thank you for watching. I really appreciate it.
What do you think he delivered here? What do you think to this house? Those 3 boxes. What do you think that was? Milk. Crack? Crack cocaine in a box? What the hell? Dino Nuggies? As required during the winter. Oh, dude, all of the smoke is using that masked texture now. You know what? I vibe with it. I could fuck up a box of nuggies right now. Why would you fuck up a box of nuggies, you asshole? You're supposed to eat it. Crimson's not going to change the train slop entirely, make it a cozy train riding low poly game? Nah. We still doing this. This is still the vibe. When bridge with cool view, shit. I don't know. That's asking for a lot. I'm never nervous with fire extinguishers in your game. Oh, it's a kind of a theme now at this point, huh? Dude, the explosion sound is literally the default Unreal explosion sound. I haven't gotten like a proper explosion sound for it. All of my games need fire extinguishers now. Goodbye. You are fuel for the train. What if we go even more screen percentage? Like 30. Now we're a pixelated game. Hell yeah. Whoop, whoop, whoop. And then let's do anti-aliasing method 0. Now we're talking. Can I like, is there a setting to like turn down the audio quality of literally everything? This is dead ass better. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. I literally don't know if that's a compliment. That's funny. Hold on, I gotta change the flames. What if we make the flames masked as well? Beep boop beep boop boop beep boop. Beep boop beep boop boop beep boop. Beep 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 boop beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop beep boop beep. What if we make this masked as well? Honestly? Honestly? I kind of vibe with it. Am I crazy? Am I kind of crazy? I kind of, a big cool, big likey. Big vibe. It doesn't look bad. It don't look half bad. Okay, hold on, but then we can optimize the little tiny embers, because the embers are for some reason a translucent. They're also translucent, which they do not need to be. So masked. Put this fucker in here. It's just a circle, man. Doesn't need to be complex. For the sound, set the sample rate to 21k hertz or lower. Can I do that project wide? Oh, dude, that's hot. That's, you know what? That's hot. That's hot. You know what? That's kind of hot. Okay, the fire, we could do a little bit more work to it, but by the way, someone asked, why is it different in here? I don't know. It's probably one of the post-process effects fucking with it. Maybe the fog. So I just have to see, like, why is this different here versus in the sky? So I don't know. We just have to see. Hey, peace out, Ray. Yeah, Merry Christmas, man. What's the line there? It's the skybox versus the actual environment. I do kind of like the screen percentage being lower. It does really give it... I think 60 is a good number to like start off with, but allowing players to kind of give their own thing is great. You can set the global sample rate in the project settings. Oh shit, wait, hold on. Wait, hold on, everybody calm down, hold on. There's the VoIP sample rate, and then there's gonna be a day-night cycle. It's not gonna be like dynamic, as in it changing live while you play. It will be from station to station, it'll change. So I think first station or first route is gonna be just daytime. Second route, I think, is gonna be like the sun is going down, which I think is sunset or dawn or whatever. And then after that, it's just nighttime, I think. We're just going to do nighttime after that. I actually don't know where the hertz would go. Let's see. Sample rate. Oh, wait, that's an Android. Let's see. Windows. Audio mixer sample rate. Sample rate to run the audio mixer with. So you guys are saying set it to 21,000? Okay. I think this might be a good moment to mute your guys' audio while I test this really quickly. I don't know if we're going to notice a difference. You know, I don't... let me set it to 8,000. I don't know if that's going to make a difference. Everything's delayed for some reason. Dude, why... let's try 16,000. Why is everything delayed? I kind of like it. I kind of like it. It's got a kind of crunchy sound to it. Oh, let's see the valve. That sounds basically the same. We could always make that a setting. We could always make that a setting. We could have like a vibe setting. What is this by default? Is this 48,000 by default? What is the default for this? Guys, 48K. Maybe it's delayed in pi. Yeah, 8,000 was delayed. 16,000 was not delayed for some interesting reason. Cool. So 3-hour stream, what was the progress today? We got input contexts on the UI. Hold on, let me pick up a fire extinguisher. So we got that in the corner now. We fixed up some meshes, did some stuff to the smoke. Today was a relaxing day. Today we didn't get like a crazy amount done. But hey, we got more green in the completed list and we got less things in the in progress list. I say, hell yeah. Speed/efficiency of the train. So we do need to start working on the speed of the train. actually modifying over time. We needed the dot damage for the fire again. The hand crank flashlight, we need to get that done. I'm thinking we put this in the list. Scroll wheel to move a handle/grabbed object closer or farther from the player. Let's get that done. Yeah, we are going to make it so your dead friends, as long as you can find their body, can be used for fuel. Without a doubt. Oh, 100%. Without a doubt, we're doing that. Of course. It's a friendslop game. Hey, man, I don't appreciate the balding and pizza ads back to back on the stream. At least you didn't get an Arby's ad. Feeding your addiction of Arby's. The Arby's addiction. I haven't had fast food in like a month. You are a liar. You're a liar and a thief and a piece of shit. How dare you lie in this chat room? I swear you had Arby's like 2 days ago. You're a liar. How dare you? Anyways, I'm gonna go. Thanks for dropping by, everybody. I got a bit of headache. I gotta chill a little bit. I'm just gonna chill. Maybe drink some water. Maybe I'll take some electrolytes or some. Yeah, I'll see you guys. Tomorrow is Christmas Eve. I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, but I guess I'm working. Maybe not. Well, I don't know. We'll see. I'll let you guys know. Yes, I'll see if I'll go live tomorrow. Maybe not. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe not. I don't know. Yeah. You're okie dokie. Oakley dokley. Have a great day. And if I don't see you guys over the holidays, happy holidays, Merry Christmas, Happy Hanukkah, happy whatever the other things on the list. Happy holidays. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'll stream at least like a short one, like during the next few days. I'll let you guys know. Anyways, take it easy. Take care of yourself. Don't drink too much. Eat. Be happy. And I'll see you guys on the flip side, which is probably tomorrow. Okay, bye.